I would like to I would like to welcome all the participants. Our speaker, Chakravarti Proji. Today we are going to start.
Hare Krishna. So, we'll start a new series, The Power of Desires. Everyone in this world desires something or the other. What we should desire and what we should not desire, that we learn. How desires actually shape up our future. We may like it, we may not like it. So they say, think before you act. But then, seeing this, we can say, think before you think. Even the thoughts and the desires coming in your heart, you should be very careful and mindful and very attentive. If it goes in the wrong direction, then we will end up, we'll, land up in that zone which we may not like. So let us see how one emperor of the whole world, became a deer. So let us pray to our Guru, to our Acharyas, to Krishna to bless us, so we can discuss and learn what is being spoken in this important literature called Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathamitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakha Vitamscha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminite Namane Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashada Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratushe Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So we welcome all of you, and today we are discussing the power of desires series. The first lesson, how the emperor becomes a king. Sorry, the emperor becomes the deer. He was the king. You might be knowing that this country called India, which is known as in Vedic times, it is known as Bharat. But not only this country, but this entire planet actually is Bharatvarsh. So this name Bharat was given after the king named Bharat. So there is one Bharat, the brother of Lord Ram. But this is not that Bharat. This Bharat is son of Lord Rishabhadev. Before Bharatvarsh, this planet was known as Ajanab Varsha, which was named after a king named Ajna, who was actually father of Rishabhadev. So King Aja and his wife Meru Devi gave birth to the Supreme Lord, the incarnation of Krishna, known as the Rishabhadev. Lord Rishabhadev. Rishabha means perfect. And Lord is perfect. So Lord Rishabhadev, who became the king after his father, and then he got married and he had 100 sons, eldest of whom was Bharat Maharaj. There were 99 other sons. So 9 of them became the yogis, Navyogendras. So 9 plus 1, Bharat Maharaj, 10. Other 9 became Brahmanas. And 81 other became, the 9 became Kshatriyas and 81 became, they had different professions. This is 5th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam and 5th chapter. The teachings of Lord Rishabhadev, one of the very important, I would say, chapters of Srimad Bhagavatam. Very beautiful teachings of Lord Rishabhadev. And then 6th chapter, the activities of Rishabhadev. And this is what we are. Activities of King Bharat and how King Bharat became dear. It is said that how a devotee and King Bharat Maharaj was at a very high, elevated level of bhakti, at a bhava stage. Just one step below the complete perfection, the complete purified stage is called prema stage, the 9 stages. Shraddha, Sadhu Sang, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivritti, Nishtha, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava, and Prem. So, Bharat Maharaj was at a level of Bhava. But he never goes to hellish planet. Devotee doesn't become animal, or a plant, or a creeper, or an aquatic, or a fish. How is that King Bharat, who's an elevated soul, became deer? That's what we will see. And why it is important for us to know all this. So, Rishabhadev, Lord Rishabhadev, who's incarnation of Krishna, he gave wonderful teachings. And then he made Bharat Maharaj the king of Bharatvarsh. And that is how this name Bharatvarsh came, which belongs to Bharat. Now, king, what happens in the Vedic culture? Not like now. King will retire after some time. He'll make one of his qualified sons, mostly eldest son, the king, and he will leave. Or he'll divide the kingdom. So Lord Rishabhadev, he gave the entire kingdom to Bharat Maharaj and he left. And he told all his brothers, younger brothers, all of you should support and assist Bharat like your own father. Like you would do to your father, you should support and assist and live happily. And then Bharat Maharaj ruled over this kingdom. Gradually, Bharat Maharaj got married to Panchjani on the instruction of Lord Rishabhadev. We got him married. She was daughter of Vishwarup. And then he was living happily. He had 5 sons. Bharat Maharaj had 5 sons from Panchjani, and the names are Sumati, Rashtrabhrita, Sudarshana, Avarna, Dhumraketu. His 5 sons. He was very happily living. The people become detached because they're frustrated. That's what we think. Many a times, if any devotee, if any youth wants to become a brahmachari, people will say, what happened? Girl ditched you, or your wife left you, or wife died, or you were kicked out from your job, or you're frustrated from your life. No, unnecessary. So Bharat Maharaj was living very peacefully. Not only peacefully, he was growing. His wealth, his name, his strength were all growing. Very obedient wife, very obedient sons, well cultured. All the subjects, all the praja, entire praja was actually treating Bharat Maharaj as their father. And Bharat Maharaj would treat everyone in his kingdom as his own sons and daughters. So everything was going fine. But then Bharat Maharaj thought, I'm doing bhakti. Now I should progress. And progress means you have to renounce. So then Bharat Maharaj divided the entire world into 5 parts, and he gave to 5 sons. Then he left. His wife Panchajani was under the care of sons, and that's how you have to eventually take sannyas. So he left. Then what happened? He went to a holy place, the place of Pulaha, known as Pulaha Ashram. Near the mountains, near the river, very peacefully he was doing his bhajan. See, that is how eventually we have to give it up. Ideally, when we are born, they say, na, khali haath aaya hai, khali haath jana hai. No, neither you come empty-handed, nor you leave empty-handed. You do something. If we have born, if we have given this body, we take birth. If the baggage is positive, pious, that will help us to proceed in pious direction. If the baggage is negative, which is impious, irreligious, that means we have performed a lot of irreligious activities in the past. So then that baggage will come and people become more sinful. There's the third bag, bhakti. If someone has bhakti from previous life, so then he will proceed in the direction of bhakti. But eventually, what you want to do, or what you should be doing, what we should be doing, to completely negate the impious bag, empty it out. You don't want. And piety, what we'll do with material piety? Material piety will give you material growth. And material growth will eventually bring material miseries. And there's no point. So the bag which we need to fill is the bag of bhakti. Right now, all of you are listening lecture. So that means some bhakti is there from a previous life. That is why we are able to practice bhakti. Even if you think, no bhakti previous life, but you still have the bag. So fill in that bag with all the bhakti stuff, so that before we die, we only have one bag and it's filled with bhakti, so that we can go back to Vaikuntha Lok, get liberated. Pious and impious, we have to leave here and get liberated and leave. So Bharat Maharaj thought, now I've come to a certain level, I should renounce. So he started gradually giving up. Piety and impiety both have to be given up. So then that is why people go to forest, people go to Himalaya, they live near the foothills of Himalaya or go deep in the Himalayan mountain range. and eat very simple food, live very simple. Because even if city, now you see city like Bombay, even if you want to live simple, it's not possible. Too many complexities at a mental level, at physical level. So somehow who are involved in preaching, that's okay. Now we cannot live and go to Himalayan mountains. So okay, whatever we can do, at least try to practice more and more bhakti. Try to internally detach ourselves. So that's what Bharat Maharaj did. He externally also wanted to detach. Now that's a voluntary decision. It's not force. Some people think that ISKCON is forcing people to accept sannyas. It's not right. Nobody is forcing, and nobody can force. This is not something can be forced. It's not something that we give money and people will come. It's not like that. If the person has a calling, if a person has calling from within, if a person has a bag of bhakti, then only he can. Otherwise, there's a lot of attachment. So it's not voluntary. Sorry, it's not forceful. It is voluntary. So then people take it up. Whoever wants, for however duration they want. Okay, experience this life also. So then Bharat Maharaj, he gave up his family life. He gave up his wife. He gave up his kids, his kingdom, everything. And he was young. Bharat Maharaj was not old and no teeth and no digestive power and no clear vision. So he has to use spectacles, hearing aid, nothing like that. Or he's wearing a waist belt because of back pain, or he's wearing a neck band because of cervical problem, spondylitis. Nothing like that. He was very young, very handsome. He gave up. And he went to Pulaha Ashram. There he went and started performing his tapasya, his bhakti. He would meet the sages. He would hear from them, hear from different sages about different scriptures, practice his bhakti. And very nicely, peaceful he was living. He was following all the systematic teachings which were given to him by his father, who's Krishna himself, Lord Rishabhdev. So he was very strictly following it. And he would, now there was no DMart or Reliance, or there was no restaurants. It's not like he was eating out, he got his credit card and eating out. People think that is why in today's world, that kind of lifestyle is difficult. It's very difficult. See, earlier sadhus will what they will eat? They will eat roots, salads, dry fruits, fruits. Everything which is becoming expensive now is actually sadhu food. People who renounce, they used to go to forest, so they get roots and fruits, and whatever nuts are available, they'll eat. But now all those things are expensive. So it's very difficult. And where will you go? Even if someone wants to go, okay, I'm going to mountains, okay. There are no trees left. Oh. Even if there are some trees, oh, I found some trees. There are no fruits on that. The rivers, flowing rivers have been stopped. There are dams constructed. So flowing rivers are not there. So that is why not recommended. It's not practical. So then live wherever you are. Practice bhakti. Try to become internally detached. And so many problems in the world, it will make you detached. So then Bharat Maharaj, he would wake up in the morning, take bath, engage in bhakti. And then after some time, he would eat some fruits or roots, or some vegetables, whatever is available in the nearby. It's not that he's traveling 50 kilometers. Today, people are traveling so much for their job. Cities like Bombay, Delhi, Calcutta, people travel like for 2 hours in a fast train. It's almost like more than 100 kilometers they travel. One way to get some food, to get some money, which will earn you food. Because they cannot afford to stay where they're working because the living costs are very high. So they have to live very far. They will have job in Dadar, Bombay Dadar, Bombay Central, or CST. They will live in Virar. Dahanu, Boisar, people will come from there. All the trains in the morning, like hundreds of trains, and millions of people. There's no space. Cannot get it. So many people are traveling. If you see in a village, people don't travel so much. Everything is available here. Here you see in Bombay, in Delhi, in Calcutta, Bangalore, all big cities, all small cities, people are traveling. Whole day, whole night, everyone is traveling. What happiness we are getting? So much of struggle just to get some food, some clothing. Why? Because our demands have increased. And that is why it is said we should live simple life. Our demands have increased. Mind is demanding too much. We have become more greedy. Here is Bharat Maharaj, who is having entire kingdom, no competitor. No Bill Gates, no Ambani, no Adani, nobody. No China, no America, only Bharatvarsh. And the king was King Bharat. And whatever he would say, law is passed. That kind of sovereignty he had. But he gave it up. If I will not give it up, it will be all taken away from me at the time of death. So better to give it up. Voluntarily, before time. It will be less painful. So then he would live very simple life, and this is how he would see why it is said you should live simple life. Take an example. You have a small phone. I don't know how many people in the world are using small phones. Non-smartphone. Only the smart people use non-smartphone because people are smart and we all need smartphone because we are not smart. Anyways, it brings some level of comfort, but see, phone is for what purpose? And what purpose are we using for? How the world is using phone. So then, if you have a small phone, you charge it. You remember, like 10 years, 15, 20 years back, small phone. And once you charge, 3-4 days it will go on because you don't much play games. There are no much games. You can't watch movies. Internet was not much there. Even if it's there, no WhatsApp, no Facebook, no Instagram, no Snapchat, this, no Twitter, nothing else. So then you don't again and again see. And nobody sends SMS these days. Everyone is on WhatsApp. So life was so simple. Imagine if you have a smaller phone. You have a smaller phone. You will charge it and keep it, okay. If it rings, you pick it up. Just calculate for tomorrow. How many hours you're using phone while talking to someone? I'm not talking about meaningful talks. If you say meaningful talks, it's hardly 1%. At least talking, but most of the time we are on screens, watching something, reading something, typing something. You're busy with screens. So the life become complex. Again and again, you have to see the phone. Oh, Because there are, like 10, 15 social media apps on your phone. And so many thousands of groups. Some of the other people keep sending. What you send today, it will forward, and tomorrow it will come back to you only. So all social media apps have like multiple groups. You can't be peaceful. And what I do, I put up all the notification, except one or two, I put up all the notification. Okay, it's helpful for preaching, but I don't want that headache. And you're not living your life. That is why. Now, if you are so much engaged, if you're so much engaged in these activities, where is the time to practice, to chant, to read? So that is why life should be simple, so that you get more time to practice bhakti, which will actually give you the perfection in life. The ultimate perfection you will get by bhakti. So Bharat Maharaj was living very simple. So simple life. That means more time for bhakti. If you have more time for bhakti, that means more advancement, more happiness, more bliss, less miseries, less sorrows, less pains in life, less, almost no doctor bills. Everything Krishna has created in nature. Or what we do, we eat artificial food, we eat junk food, and then we need medicines. If you eat natural food, why there is medicines? Food itself has so much of nutrition and mineral values and vitamins. So Bharat Maharaj was having very simple lifestyle so that he can practice bhakti. But then every story has a turn and a twist. So he was sitting near Gandaki River. Now, Gandaki River actually flows in Nepal region. He was there, you can understand. He was sitting near Gandaki River practicing bhakti. He saw one deer came, a female deer. So what do you call doe? Female deer. There's a pregnant female deer. And this pregnant female deer was drinking water from that river. And what this deer heard is a loud roar of a lion. She became very fearful. And because of fear, actually, she had delivered the baby. It's very, I don't know, English is seriously a very funny language. For me, I find it very impersonal to say it delivered. Why she should be only for human beings and he? Why for animal? They are also, ladies and gents, female and male. I find it more comfortable using she or he, It looks more personal. You can feel connected. And nowadays, people, they will say to their dogs, oh, my beta, and to their cats, oh, my beti. So, beta is there. How it is? It has to be he, na? You have emotions connected to, so I find it very difficult. So, she actually gave birth. A small baby deer just fell off, fell out from the womb in the water. And this Hiran, this deer, she was running, but she was so tired because of delivery, she died. And Bharat Maharaj, he was sitting there. He felt very compassionate. See, as a king, he has to be compassionate to everything, not only to human beings. See, understand? Now he's no more a king, but that is the problem will come. So Bharat Maharaj felt very compassionate. Natural for a devotee, natural for anyone to see a small, newborn, whether it's newborn tiger or newborn lion, they're cute, little helpless creatures. How can you not help them? So Bharat Maharaj went and picked it up. Small baby deer. Then no one, mother died. And then Bharat Maharaj did the biggest mistake of his life. He started taking care of the deer. What he should have done, okay, as a human being, as a devotee, he protected. He should have sent the deer. He could have found out where the this herd of deer they are living. Could have given there. Now he became attached. Even if you have a a 10 rupees pen, you use it for 1 week, you become attached. The deer is a living being. So this is the biggest mistake Bharat Maharaj did. He became attached to that deer. He started taking care of the deer like his own son. Every now and then he would just think about the deer. Okay, you protect. Take care of people. Don't get attached to them. Because where your attachment is, that is where you will go. Where the intent flows, where the intent goes, energy flows. So the consciousness is now shifted from Krishna to deer. So the small deer is growing up and see, oh, it's very natural. But it's not good, it's harmful for the growth of a devotee. It's very natural to be compassionate to small, especially small babies, whether it's animals or birds or human beings, they're cute little babies. But then, you or me or we should not take care of the role, should not take the role of Krishna, who's the maintainer of all living beings. I'm not maintainer. You're not maintainer. Nobody is maintainer except Krishna. Only Krishna is maintainer of all living beings. We have to do it. What we have to do it? We have to go away from this effect. We have to go away from this attachment, which can be harmful in future for us. And that we'll see with this case of Bharat Maharaj. So Bharat Maharaj was meditating. And now, like you're chanting, you're meditating. So you're meditating. Nothing. He gave up the entire kingdom. His sons, his wife, everything he gave. All the riches, all the money, all the power. Once you get the power, it's very difficult to give it up. That's why these ministers, they don't give it up. They'll die, but they'll not give it up. They'll fight in opposition, but they'll not give it up. It's difficult. His power is so intoxicating. So then he would practice. Bharat Maharaj was, practice meditation. So when you practice meditation, earlier he was alone, so he just absorbed. Goes deep into the meditation. But now, before he goes deep, he has to close his eyes. Oh, where is the deer? Okay, sitting there. Hare Krishna, Krishna. Where is the deer now? Small baby deer. It's my responsibility. This is ahankara. You gave up entire kingdom. You gave up entire world. How come this deer became your responsibility? It's Krishna's responsibility. It's not our responsibility. Sometimes people take care of, people who are on the streets. Okay, if you can give them food, but you don't bring them home. You don't become attached to them or animals. That is not your responsibility. Your first and foremost responsibility of every living being is to serve Krishna. That's the first responsibility. That should not get affected. If it is getting affected, then we will fail in every other responsibility. So we have to be very careful. So then Bharat Maharaj, he would read Bhagavatam and look for deer. Okay, take it. Then he'll get some food. Now this deer, this baby is growing. And when infants grow, in the growing stage, what they want is attention. They demand attention. Because you've given them so much of care, and now they're growing, you don't give them, no, they demand attention. You see the calves, they're small calves. For the first few weeks, they don't know what is world. And then gradually they'll hit the mother. If mother is not taking care, they'll hit them. Sometimes you go to Vartalasri farm, 500 cows, 40, 50 calves. And if you just enter, whenever I go, I just enter. They're harmless creatures. They're pure, they're harmless, they're not dirty. They're harmless. You go and then you just take care of, just give affection and love to one calf. And all 2 more calves will come. Hey, why are you ignoring me? Take care of me also. Touch me also. And then you take care of 3 cows, these calves, 4 more will come. And 5 more will. And then you will see that they have surrounded you. And they all want love. And they demand for it. So these babies, they demand. Kids, they demand. If a kid, a 3-year-old child goes to school, comes back. First thing what he wants, Mama. Where is Mama? Oh, Mama is not there. He feels very sad. He does not want food. He does not want toys. First thing he wants is his mother. Or his brother, sister, someone who can acknowledge he has come home. They demand that. So this deer was growing and now he demands. So Bharat Maharaj is chanting and then he's taking care. And then deer will just, deers have one of the prettiest eyes in the world. Sometimes you can go and see. Deer's very pretty eyes, big eyes, like lotus petal. Very pretty. Shining. And this Bharat Maharaj will chant Hare Krishna and then he'll look and the deer is looking like this. Papa. I've seen families. The wife is telling the cat or the dog, go to Papa. Papa means wife's husband, and not the animals, dogs or cats' father or mother. So that is how you feel like you're the parent. You feel like you are the parents. So Bharat Maharaj felt no different. And then he would play around. Sometimes he would sit in front, sometimes he would go back. So Bharat Maharaj actually is going away from his path, which is leading to Krishna. Now he's going away. Instead of becoming Krishna conscious, he's becoming deer conscious. It's very natural. Cannot avoid it. So then, sometimes this deer would go and hide behind. And then Bharat Maharaj is chanting, where is my baby gone? I don't know what name he has given the deer. It's not given and not mentioned in Bhagavatam. Looking, and then suddenly find, then deer is now playing with Bharat Maharaj. And Bharat Maharaj is playing with deer. Where is Krishna? Gone. That's how Maya captures. We became the prey. Who is helpless? Who became the prey? Bharat Maharaj. Okay, Bharat Maharaj will next life he'll get success. What about us? So much attachment, so much attraction in the world. People and the things and the memories. We're increasing the more we meet, the more we interact with different people, the more we are increasing our attachment unnecessarily. We should become detached so that we can go smoothly back home, back to God, and we can go back to Krishna. We should get attached to Krishna. But we are attached to these material beings. Sometimes people would have, small fish tanks, keep one goldfish or bigger aquarium, or keep some pets. Already there is so much attachment in husband, so much attachment in wife, so much attachment in children, so much attachment in parents, so much attachment in money, in facilities, in car, TV, mobile, laptop. Now you increase more attachment. One by one, we should gradually give this attachment, so that we can be like a free bird. When the time comes, we just open our wings and flap them and fly high. But these attachments will pull us down. They'll not let you fly. Can you imagine how difficult? There are mothers who are working, so they leave their 1-year-old child. I mean, you cannot get a maternity leave which is like for 10 years. 6 months maximum. So then mother has to go for a job. Paisa. Money. Brighter than sunshine, sweeter than honey. We need money because we need so many things. I want my child to grow up and study in a school which has a fees of 5 lakh rupees per year. Status. And for that, you have to earn, you have to work. Giving up the association, giving up the affection to the child, you go and work. It's very, very complicated and contradictory this world has become. Mother and father not giving time to their children, and they go and earn money. And when children are growing up, children ask money, you have to give money. Once you give money, they are again gone. So first you are gone to earn money, then kids are gone away from you to spend that money. So is this family life? Really? Is this what the world calls family life? Tell me who has a family life. First husband was going away, so wife was sitting alone at home. When will my Prabhu come? Now wife is also going in another direction for job. And these babies are sitting, nobody to take care. Then you hire a granny, nanny, whatever you call. And so this the woman who takes care of the child, she has a very different consciousness. She's taking care of the child because of money. Her attachment to money is there. That's why she is taking care of the child. So the child will have consciousness and he will also get attached to money. This lady cannot show, she may show some affection. I told you, the babies are like that. It's very natural, but she will not have that love like mother. And mother is also earning money. Father is earning money. This nanny is earning money. So this child gets association of all the people who are busy making money. So he also thinks, or she, that the most important thing in the world is money. Not mother, not father, not husband, not wife. Let them go to hell. I want money. We are giving that consciousness to the child. What the child will get. And most of the time, these nannies, they don't come from very higher strata of life, of society. Their association is pathetic. And they get those associations. They eat food outside. They eat very low class food. They have very low class. Sometimes they have very low class locality. Okay, some may be good. And they are giving their association to the child, and child actually is capturing their consciousness, their vibrations. The vibes the child is taking. It's not good for the child. And then suddenly after 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, the father, mother are thinking, what have we done wrong in bringing up this child? Why is this fellow behaving like this? Because you never gave time. Your upbringing was only to give the child money. That's all. You think Or this world thinks that giving money, giving facilities, the child will be happy. Most of the children, I'm not talking about Europe and US, that's doomed. In India, the kids who are like below 20, most of them, and there's a psychiatric report, they feel that they are not loved. Their entire childhood has gone without getting any love. Now they do not know how to give love. So they become so much negative. They get into depression. They get into frustration. They cannot express themselves. So that touch is not there. I'll tell you one very wonderful fact. Ravana. You know Ravana? Everyone knows. Ram killed Ravana. I don't know why, but it's mentioned in the scriptures. Ravana never drank milk from the breast of her mother, his mother. I don't know why. Mother never fed Ram. Maybe he was like that, Asura. Just by feeding mother's milk to the child develops good qualities, not only immune system, the good qualities. He develops good nature. That is why Ravana became rapist. Because he never got that love of mother. It's not mistake of mother. Mother was Brahmani. Something this fellow would have done. And today what is happening? Mothers are not feeding their kids, their babies. They're busy. So then that is how they're becoming so negative, so greedy, so lusty, so angry. Go any house in India, whether a small town or a big town, metro or whatever it is. Look at the kids who are below 15. Very angry, throwing unlimited tantrums, very lusty, very greedy, and living in a cocoon. They don't need any interference. They don't, because as babies they have just been kept alone. So they don't know how to deal with people, society. The worst side. There's not detachment. There's foolishness. This world is going through. It's not detachment. If you are detached from a child, okay, but do the duty of a mother, of a father. Here, Bharat Maharaj is getting attached to deer. And then deer was growing in like few weeks, few months. And then deer, he was chant, Bharat Maharaj would chant, and deer will come from back and he will just hit like this. These deers and calves, they hit. So then he has to leave this meditation and play with the deer. And this is how time was passing. Bharat Maharaj left entire planet he left to attain. But one small baby deer distracted Bharat Maharaj. One thing is that Bharat Maharaj was alone. We should never stay alone and practice bhakti. We should always be in association with devotee. If there were 2 more sadhus, 3 more sadhus, they would have said, hey, watch it. Where are you going? You're getting distracted. And, okay, sorry. Thank you, told me. Otherwise, I was a different path. Nobody was there. Okay, if 1 day, 2 day, Bharat Maharaj would have kept that baby deer, now look at, let him go. Kept him. And every time now he would eat, he would offer to Krishna, and then he would feed first this baby deer, and then he would eat. So his entire consciousness shifted from Krishna to the deer. Time was passing. Bharat Maharaj was just flowing in the waves of time, unaware of what future is. And that day come. If you have not practiced bhakti, that is doomsday. If you have practiced bhakti, then what? That's bloom day. That's blooming. Otherwise, dooms. So this doomsday came, the day of death. And Bharat Maharaj is almost lying down on the floor. He's about to die. And this deer has gone somewhere. What deer wants? Some grass, some fruit, some leaves have gone somewhere, playing around. He's calling out, "Oh my beta, deer, where have you gone? Oh my, son, where have you gone?" Calling, calling, calling. In that consciousness, he left world to attend Krishna, but he left Krishna and just thinking about the deer, and he left this world. He died. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajante ante kalevaram tam tameveti kaunteya sada tadbhava bhavitah. Krishna speaks in 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Hey Arjun, at the last moment, whatever is your consciousness, wherever your consciousness is going, that is what you will get. So his consciousness, Bharat Maharaj's consciousness, absorbed in deer. So next life, Bharat Maharaj, the emperor of the world, the devotee at such an high elevated level, he becomes deer. Such pathetic situation. He becomes a deer. Imagine where our attachment is taking us. So that is why I said, think before you think. Don't get attached to anything except Krishna. Only get attached to Krishna. That will take you back to Krishna. Otherwise, again coming back to the suffering, miserable world. But somehow, because Bharat Maharaj was devotee for Krishna, has given him concessions. Even though Bharat Maharaj became deer, he could remember his previous life. And as a deer, he would stay same ashram, Pulha ashram. And then he would associate with different rishis and sages. And that is how he lived his life. He completed his tenure in the deer's body. He gave up, and then he again was born as a son of Brahmana to practice further. Again, his name was Bharat, but he was dull-headed, so he was known as Jada Bharat. So we'll talk about Jada Bharat next week. Hare Krishna. So in summary, don't get attached. We have to get into the process of detachment gradually, but on the path on both sides, there'll be so much allurements. Try to not get distracted because of that. Just go ahead, keep walking, keep walking. Somehow or the other, even if you get distracted, pull yourself back, proceed ahead. Your destination, my destination, everyone's destination is Krishna. It's Krishna. Nothing else. Okay. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Anyone has any question, we can answer. Okay. No questions. We'll stop here. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. You can read if you wish. Shaktiraj Prabhu will display one verse from today's discussion. Maybe okay. Shlok number 9. 589. Okay, 589.